Welcome to a sun-soaked Brough GA club here in South Limerick for a double header in the Secours Hospital Limerick Hurling Championship. First up, we have Adare and South Liberties starting in a couple of minutes' time, and after that at 6 p.m. we have the clash of Doon and Kilmallock. I'm joined in commentary as usual by Matt O'Callaghan of the Weekly Observer Vale Star. Matt, just looking at this game, first of all, Adare and South Liberties, both teams tasted defeat from their opening games last weekend. Vital for the rest of the season that they get a win today.
Absolutely, and especially going into such a long break. But the first thing we have to say, I suppose, John, is what a contrast in the conditions that we experienced here just 7 days ago when they were horrendous conditions, and everything is absolutely perfect. Pitches is perfect, conditions are ideal, there is no wind, there is no excuse for not being able to play hurling out there today. But you're right, it's a huge game for both sides. It's a battle of two first round losing sides, and lose your second in a five match series, it gives you very, very, very little latitude. It nearly condemns you to looking over your shoulder to survive rather than being in the race for the playoff, or for the in this case for the quarterfinals. It will be a very, very interesting game. Now, Adair were here last week. They've had a run out here against Kilmallock. They were in it for long periods. I suppose their wayward shooting in the first half probably maybe it didn't cost them the game, but it certainly meant that they could have made Kilmallock sweat an awful lot more had they been more prolific. South Liberties had a heavy defeat at the hands of Napier, so they will be looking to bounce back. Both sides are looking to bounce back. It should be a very interesting game.
Give a rundown on the teams as soon as we have a stoppage here, but it's Adare immediate on attack, and it's Willie Griffin with this first attempt, and after only 20 seconds of the game. That's a fantastic start for Adare and Matt O'Callaghan. Willie Griffin was a danger last week, and he started off in the same vein today.
He did, and I'll tell you, there are a few points that he has scored that's better than that one. Coming when the game wasn't hot on, and it was way out on the right. I don't know whether the viewers could see it, but it was from a very, very awkward angle, and fair dues to him to have a go so early, and it's the perfect opening for Adair. Now they have conceded a free here, which Brian Ryan is stepping up to. And I'd say, is it Brian Ryan is stepping up to? It is. You'd fancy Brian with this one without wanting to put the commentator's curse on him.
It's Brian Ryan with the first chance for South Liberties here. It's a fine strike from Brian Ryan, but it looks to be tailing to the left. It's gone over the bar according to the umpire, and that's all square after just over a minute's play here in Brough. Adare 1 point, South Liberties 1 point, and Adare get things back on their way straight away. It's into John Fitzgibbon now, right around midfield. Fitzgibbon has a go. It's a fine strike from the Adare centre forward, and it's an excellent score. The second one for Adare in the opening stages here in Brough. Matt, fantastic score from John Fitzgibbon there.
Yeah, and it will be the start that they were hoping for, and it's such a contrast with last week when they could hardly find the target for any money, two long range efforts, and 2 points. They'll be quite happy with that.
It's going to be a sideline ball here to South Liberties that Brian Ryan is going to take. We'll give you a quick rundown of the teams as he prepares that. Adare have Joey Shire in goals, full back line of David Connolly, Jody Hannon and Sean Hogan. Half back line Ronan Connolly, Declan Hannon and Frank Costello. In midfield you've David O'Mahony and James Gann. Half forward line Mike Mackey, John Fitzgibbon and Charlie McCarthy. And a full forward line of Mark Connolly, Andrew O'Connell and Willie Griffin as Brian Ryan strikes this one straight in to the middle, and it's Ronan Connolly with possession for Adare. Connolly with a chance to clear, and he does that straight down, but it's right in front of us. South Liberties player, well defended there, looking for Brian Ryan here, right in front of us here in commentary. Ryan strikes straight in and around the square, looking for Barry Nash, but Declan Hannon picks up the loose ball and clears it downfield. More time for John Fitzgibbon. He's shown he can already score from here. It's another fantastic effort from John Fitzgibbon, and straight over the bar. 3 points to 1 for Adare against South Liberties here. And Matt, 3 outstanding scores early doors here for Adare.
Yeah, three outstanding scores, but 2 of Adare's key players combined in that one. Declan Hannon got the ball, looked up, saw John Fitzgibbon where he was. John Fitzgibbon did not need a second invitation. It was straight in front of the goal, but it was a long distance out. And I suppose we spoke ad nauseum last week about what the factor of the conditions, but conditions are so perfect that he was just able to tee it up straight away and convert it. And that's 2 points for John Fitzgibbon now, who is the team captain and has started very well now. He was entitled to be happy with his performance last week as well. He wasn't as prolific in terms of scoring, but he certainly, I think he led from the front and he led the resistance. So he'd be absolutely delighted. And Brian Foley here in front of us are obviously very pleased that they have got those 3 early scores.
It's Mark Connolly in possession for Adare. A low ball into the full forward line from that free by Declan Hannon. Connolly on the run now. Dangerous man to stop. Takes on Conor McSweeney. Hand pass is poor though. It does fall to an Adare man down. It's the shot there from David O'Mahony. And that's another point for Adare. 4 points to 1 into a fantastic start for Brian Foley's men with just 4 minutes played. 4 points to 1.
Yeah, a terrific start and all good quality scores and 4 points from play. 4 points from play to 1 point from a free. And I suppose we have only 4 minutes, and it's very hard to say so at this point. But like it almost reflects the amount of possession and dominance that Adare have enjoyed in these opening exchanges.
So Liberties now trying to get back into this game. Ball in Adare territory, but it's been picked up by a South Liberties player. Over there it is Brian Ryan, but Ryan's last possession, looking to win it back. It's a great challenge from Declan Hannon though, but it's Conor McSweeney in possession now for South Liberties. McSweeney looks forward, plays it long, looking for Barry Nash. Jody Hannon's out in front. Hannon doesn't get it though, but Nash slips at the vital opportunity, and Jody Hannon should clear this one for Adair. Takes his time, flicks the ball inside, creates more space for himself and clears it over to this near side. And it's Charlie McCarthy. McCarthy had a tough evening last weekend in front of goals. It's a low ball in, looking for Willie Griffin. Good pressure by the South Liberties defence, but Griffin will come away with it, and Willie Griffin away. Left shot off his left side, I should say, and that's going to tail to the right and wide. While that one's gone wide, we'll give you the South Liberties team. Michael Moynihan in goals for Liberties. Owen Quilty, Patrick Carroll and Brendan Ahern make up the full back line. Half back line is John Hickey wearing number 18, Conor McSweeney and David Gary. David O'Neill and Shane O'Neill make up midfield. Brian Ryan, Barry Nash and Owen Godfrey in the half forward line, while Shane Gary, Mike Keane and Brian Gary in the Liberties full forward line. Long puck out from Moynihan. Frank Costello's there, flicks it into the path of Declan Hannon. Hannon now going down that right hand side. Hannon under pressure, plays a hand pass down the line. It's looking for Mark Connolly. It's Connolly has it now, wearing that white helmet. Hannon's inside again. Pass doesn't go to hand, but it should still be their possession with James Gann. Gann's being fouled by Brendan Ahern and Matt O'Callaghan. Another chance for Adair to extend their lead to 4 points. Should be a relatively straightforward one for Willie Griffin.
Should be. I suppose from a free taker's perspective, it's the ideal first free that you would get. Now, tis a bit of a distance, tis slightly to the right of the goal, but it's certainly within a sharpshooters of Willie Griffin's compass. I've just noticed that you name Mike Keane there at full forward and Barry Nash at centre forward. They seem to have switched in these early stages.
It's Willie Griffin with the strike here for Adair. No problem for Willie Griffin there. And it's 5 points to 1 now to Adair. Just coming up to 6.5 minutes played here in Bruff. Of course, the first of 2 double headers. Later on at 6 p.m. we have Kilmallock and Doon. We'll talk about that later. Chance now for Mike Mackey on the run. Mackey turns on a shot for goal. Good flick away. Good defending. Desperate defending, it has to be said, by Patrick Carroll. And good defending all round from South Liberties. Mike Mackey blown up for overcarrying, but a goal chance there for Adair, Matt, but good defending from Liberties, that has to be said.
Yeah, good. It was a bit of desperation defending actually, because and they were helped by, I think, a slightly wrong decision, plus the fact that strangely no Adair player made themselves available.
Shane O'Neill winning a free for South Liberties just inside their own 65, a good 10 metres or so, and it's going to be Conor McSweeney that's going to leave it. In fact, for Brian Ryan's going well back inside his own 65 is Ryan to take this one. It's a kind of afternoon, Matt, that he's well capable of putting this one over, given that there's not a hint of wind.
Yeah, he is a very, very long striker. I think this will come down to accuracy. If his radar is right, he's quite capable of putting it over.
It's Brian Ryan now lining this one up. Plenty on it. It's going to be dropping in and around the square. In fact, it drops to the left and wide. And that's wide for Liberties as Joey Shire takes this one fairly quickly. It's just that bit high though for James Gann. But here comes Charlie McCarthy for Adair. It's blocked though by David Gary. Good work from the South Liberties number 7 there. Ball scrum, Jody Hannon looking to win it for Adare, but it's Frank Costello that comes away with it wearing the number 7 for Adare. It's John Fitzgibbon to Charlie McCarthy. Lovely flick pass by John Fitzgibbon to McCarthy. McCarthy has to look back. It's a poor enough pass by McCarthy. James Gann does well, plays the ball back to Sean Hogan back there, the Adare number 4. Hogan across the middle. You shouldn't really be doing that. It's David O'Neill for Liberties trying to win this back. It's going to fall though to Declan Hannon. Hannon has a man outside him. It's well intercepted though by Brian Ryan. Jody Hannon in with the challenge on Ryan, but Ryan should still come away with this for South Liberties. Tries to hand pass it off. That's got a block in it. Referee Sean O'Halloran has decided that he hand passed it up to himself. South Liberties protest, but either way it's a free for Adare. And it's going to be Declan Hannon to take this. Adare lead 5-1 in the second round of the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Bon Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship brought to you live and exclusively on Limerick GA TV. It's Willie Griffin under pressure for Owen Quilty over there from South Liberties. Quilty gets the ball away. It's going to be a free for South Liberties. Good defensive work from South Liberties there. And Matt, we're just seeing Liberties need a score maybe to settle a bit of nerves that are still there.
They do, and it appears in these early stages, and we haven't 10 minutes gone yet, but that Adairs want to get the ball in the direction of Willie Griffin now as short as possible, as quickly as possible. Now they're doing a good mix of the short game and the long game. And we have a wide there for South Liberties, but they're obviously targeting to get Willie Griffin on as much ball as possible, given the conditions that we have today.
Owen Godfrey with that chance. It was a good run from Godfrey to South Liberties number 12, but good pressure from the Adare defence, and it's gone to the right and wide on that occasion. But play brought back for a South Liberties free, and it's going to be a chance for Brian Ryan to get their second point, which would be his second point. The only scorer for South Liberties so far, the trail 5-1. It was a Brian Ryan free that has Liberties on the board in the early stages here. Ryan now at his third opportunity. Missed one just a moment ago from long range. This time there's no trouble for Brian Ryan on that occasion. That's South Liberties' second point, Matt, and 5-2. A much needed score.
Much needed score. It keeps them in touch, but they need to get off the mark from play. They can't be over reliant on frees, because they are not going to concede the frees. They didn't concede them that much last week when under pressure, and it's unlikely that they're going to do so either today.
Great ball across from crossfield ball by John Fitzgibbon there. Willie Griffin looking to win it for Adair, but it's Adair who have it. I know it's Mike Mackey. In fact, it's not. It's Andrew O'Connell with that ball inside, looking for Mark Connolly. Connolly will keep this in play by the looks of it. He does, and he takes on his man there. Mark Connolly, dangerous man in possession, faced by John Hickey. Connolly still has it, plays the ball back. Goal chance maybe. O'Mahony decides to pop it over instead. Doesn't take any chances. That's David O'Mahony's second point of this afternoon's game, and Matt O'Callaghan, Adare looking very dangerous anytime that ball goes near the full forward line.
They are, and as you can see there again, they got it as quickly as possible into the danger area, and that seems to be the tactic, and they have the firepower in there, but that's David O'Mahony up supporting the attack, and that's his second point of the game.
So Adare in possession again with Mike Mackey down that far side. Mackey shows serious pace to get away from a couple of Liberties vendors. A low ball into Mark Connolly, a perfect ball. Connolly on the run now. Chance. He's got Mackey outside, and Mackey in and goal here. Chance for Adair. Is that buried into the back of net from Mike Mackey? Excellently worked goal, Matt. Brilliant work from Mackey initially. Give the ball into Mark Connolly. Has to be said, Connolly. There was no defender near him. Worked the ball back to Mackey, and fantastic finish.
Yeah, his offload and his timing was absolutely perfect. That is a well engineered, well crafted goal. Now it gives Adair a very, very firm foothold in the game. And what we just got over 10 minutes gone. It's 1-6 to 2 points. It's a good lead, and I would say the Adair management here in front of us are entitled to be very, very pleased. I suppose it is better than they could have expected.
Another chance for Adare to add to their scoreline here. Frank Costello hit late, free from where the ball landed, awarded by Brewery's John O'Halloran, and it's a chance for Willie Griffin to make the score 1-7 to 1-2 in Adair's favour. Just coming up to 12.5 minutes played here in a sun-drenched Brough. Of course, Adare lost 18 points to 13 last weekend to Kilmallock in conditions that were quite different to what we have today. And of course, South Liberty's going down to a 420 to 10 points defeat to Napier. She gets Griffin lines this one straight over the red spot here in Bruff. Easy as you like, Matt.
Oh, very easy, very easy. And I suppose there's a message. Well, easy for Willie Griffin, but there was a bit of work in it. But there's a message for South Liberties. You don't give Willie Griffin too many of those type of chances. But in the overall context of the game, and we haven't a quarter of an hour yet, and there's 8 points between the sides, and it's fair to say, and it has to be said, that it reflects the superiority that Adair are enjoying. They're completely on top. Declan Hannon is absolutely here on top at centre half back, and the whole defence are on top, and like you can see like that South Liberties are already living off scraps, and like there's a quarter of an hour of the game gone, and they haven't yet registered a score from play, and like this is the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship.
It's another chance for Brian Ryan though, for looking for his third point of this afternoon's action. 2 frees from Brian Ryan already today, and that one looks to be good from our angle here in commentary. It's a fine strike from Brian Ryan. That's a score, badly needed score for South Liberties, and they now trail it there 1-7 to 3 points after 14 minutes of this first half. It's Joey Shire now preparing to take this puck out for Adare. We must note as well that Barry Nash has already been moved out of full forward, out to the middle of the field, looking to win some ball for South Liberties, but they have it now, and it's Shane O'Neill with possession, gives it to Brian Ryan. Ryan on the run now, he's got Mike Keane outside of his left-sided shot though from Brian Ryan, and it's a good effort from Brian Ryan. That is South Liberty's first point from play. Good score from Brian Ryan. He's accounted for all 4 points, and Adair lead now is cut back to 6 points.
Yeah, that's a rallying score for South Liberties, but we need to see a good bit more of it if they're to claw their way back into the game. Now, in the last minute, a couple of minutes, they certainly have been more competitive around the middle, and there was another opportunity now here in that they have a line ball which they will be delivering into the danger area. We should have said that, of course, the Adair goalkeeper PJ Hall cried off before the game, and that's why Joey Shire has taken his place between the 6.
It's trailed out to over the end line there. So Liberty's trying to work the ball into the full forward line. That's a wide, their second of the game. It's a quick puck up from Joey Shire right into Jody Hannon's hand, and Hannon plays it inside to James Gann. Gann has time and space to take up his options. He gives it into Willie Griffin. Quilty trying to chase Griffin down, but Griffin has beaten him. He's done well to get back as Quilty, but Griffin on the run. It's going to be a free for Willie Griffin, but Matt, on that occasion, Quilty was left with no real option. Otherwise, Willie Griffin was through on goal.
No real option, and Willie Griffin had a bit of work to do because the ball was actually going away from him, and he had to turn and get back in. But he did it, and certainly got free under all sorts of problems there. And again, it's a free at an angle, but angles for Willie Griffin don't seem to matter much.
No, they would for us, Matt, but Willie Griffin's free taking abilities surpass ours, and that's no problem again for Willie Griffin. 1-8 to 4 points now with their lead. Just over 16 minutes of this first half played in Bruff. Second round of the Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. It's Moynihan's puck out as well, caught by John Fitzgibbon. It's another low ball in from John Fitzgibbon. It's Willie Griffin in possession again. Zone Quilty trying to get the block in, but Griffin makes no mistake again, and he's putting on a masterclass, Matt.
Yeah, he's putting on a masterclass, but he's putting on a masterclass because he's getting the supply, he's getting the ball, and he's getting good quality ball apart from and that's a massive catch in the centre of the field by David O'Mahony.
Excellent work from O'Mahony. Finds Jody Hannon here on this left hand side. Again a low ball in. It's Charlie McCarthy and David Gary going for it for their respective teams. Look to be a pushing them back on David Gary by McCarthy though, and it's going to be a free out for South Liberties. 1-9 to 4 points here in Bruff. And it's David O'Neill to take this one for South Liberties. In fact, it's not. That's David Gary who's going to try and launch this one in and around the square as long as he can, you'd imagine. Anyway, it's a good strike from Gary. It's going to drop right down on top of Declan Hannon and Mike Keane, and Hannon unable to get it into his hand. But there's a chance now for South Liberties with Shane Gary. He's under pressure from Jody Hannon. Gary has it in his hand though. Can he put the ball across? It's a low one across. Sean Hogan does well to get it. It's Brian Ryan now. Ryan with the chance. Tried to pull it across. Tried to get a quick shot away. It's going to be kept in play though by David O'Neill for South Liberties. O'Neill looks back. He's got Barry Nash there. Chance for Nash for his first point of the game, and Barry Nash has surprisingly put that one to the right. Matt O'Callaghan. And Liberties need to be taking them chances.
Yeah, and I suppose Barry Nash, in that type of situation, you would fancy him all day. And like, I suppose when things start going wrong for you, they go wrong. And they will be disappointed with that, because certainly anything they can get, the opportunities they're getting up there are limited enough. So they've got to absolutely maximise them, and that's certainly one that got away.
It's Nash winning that ball for South Liberty, plays it low inside to Brian Gary. It's Gary now looking to win possession ahead of David Connolly. Gary now with the shot from that far sideline. It's a well struck one from the South Liberties number 15. That's an excellent score, certainly South Liberty's best one from play this afternoon.
Yeah, an excellent score. He just looked up. It was at distance, but he was under a bit of pressure, but found the target. A very, very good score.
1-9 to 5 points. Adair lead with 18.5 minutes played of this second half. John Hickey winning possession for South Liberties. Plays the ball, simple hand pass to Conor McSweeney. McSweeney powers through a couple of tackles from David O'Mahony and Charlie McCarthy. McSweeney still on the run here for Liberties. Finds Brian Ryan, shooting chance maybe for the Liberties number 10. He's still on the run as Brian Ryan. He's been fouled. Excellent work from South Liberties, working the ball from their half back line up to Brian Ryan at half forward. And it has to be said, Matt, even though they're 7 points down, Brian Ryan's work rate's phenomenal. He's been looking to get on the ball every time.
Yeah, and that started with Conor McSweeney making a drive into the Adair half, and we need to see more of that. Like Conor McSweeney, I suppose, is one of the players that South Liberties would be looking for to rally him. And we have a free now for Brian Ryan, which, awkward angle as it is, should be within his compass.
It's got tail to the left and wide, as Matt mentioned. It was an awkward angle for the South Liberties free taker, and it's tail to the left hand side. And we're underway again over on that far side. James Gann looking to win it for Adair. Bit of bobbling around. It's going to be a sideline ball in favour of South Liberties, and it's going to be taken over on that far side. David Gary to take for South Liberties over on that far side. You see the breeze after picking up here in Bruff. You see by the flags over by the sideline cut, which Gary is about to take now. It's a fine sideline cut from David Gary right into the danger in area. Frank Costello gets a flick to it, but Sean Hogan has it for Adair. Hogan's been fouled. Needless enough foul from a South Liberties point of view. And it's going to be a free out for Adair. Matt, we've just over 20 minutes played. 1-9 to 5 points. They're fairly comfortable in the last few minutes indeed. South Liberties have upped their pace.
They've upped their pace, and they've two chances missed. They're in quick succession. Barry Nash missed a chance that you would normally expect him to take. Brian Ryan missed a free, albeit from a difficult angle. It would certainly have put a different colour on it at 1-9 to 7 rather than 1-9 to 5. You mentioned the breeze that's blowing up there. It's blowing very definitely in favour of South Liberties. And I suppose, John, if we're honest, there's no place that's more welcome than here in our commentary post.
Badly needed the heat getting to us a bit here in Bruff this afternoon. Going in around 20 degrees. We're waiting for a decision near the ball. Play it on, and it's Adair with a shooting chance here. Another chance for Adair. Andy O'Connell with the shot, but it's just gone to the left and wide. Bit of a comical one there, Matt. 4 or 5 players between both sides looking for a decision from the umpire. No call came, no whistle came. Adair eventually got the shot away, but Andrew O'Connell unable to find the target.
Unable to find the target, but certainly from where we were here, we couldn't adjudicate one way or the other where it went, because it was hit so quick for a finish. But obviously the umpires and the referee were all in a good position, so obviously they have decided that it's a wide ball, and I suppose fair to say possibly a chance kind of begging.
Indeed it was. Adair completely on top in the opening 15 to 16 minutes, but there has been a bit of a fight back by South Liberties in that time. It's Adair that lead 1-9 to 5 points. Michael Moynihan getting us back underway here. It's a long puck up from the South Liberties goalkeeper. Up goes David O'Neill, breaks the ball down. And it's John Hickey now in possession for South Liberties. He's received a push in the back, and it's going to be another chance for Brian Ryan to get South Liberties' 6th point of this game. And Matt, as I mentioned there, we've mentioned it a couple of times in the last few minutes that this has been better from South Liberties.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The last 5 minutes have been much better from South Liberties. They have been being competitive, and they really need this one to go over, because were they to miss 3 scoring chances in a row, there's no doubt at all about that one.
Oh, excellent strike from Brian Ryan there, and that's 6 points for South Liberties. Double scores here. Adair 1-9. South Liberties 6 points as Joy Shire launches that one down. It's going to be one of our first 2. It's certainly his own Godfrey over on that far side, but it's Adair that have it with James Gann. Gann tries to get the hand pass away. He's unable to keep the ball in play though. It's going to be a sideline cut for South Liberties over on that far side. Conor McSweeney comes out as centre back to take this one. He'll look to get, he took one a few minutes ago that landed right and around the Adare danger in and around the 14 metre line. He'll be looking for similar purchase from this one. That's McSweeney. It's a lower one. It's into the hand though, looking for the hand of Shane Gary, but it's gone all the way, and it's Ronan Connolly, and Connolly will look for Willie Griffin. It's good defending this time though from Patrick Carroll. Good pressure from Charlie McCarthy. Patrick Carroll as well finds David Gary. Gary now in possession for Liberties. Under pressure, severe, fantastic defensive effort from the Adare forwards on that occasion. That just shows, Matt, they're well up for this from their forwards. Not only when they're facing South Liberties goal, they're also happy enough to defend when the ball's on the opposite side.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was typical there. But you mentioned it in commentary that it was very good defending in the first instance by Patrick Carroll, who's been around a while, and he certainly showed all his experience there, because hadn't he defended it the way he did, there could be all sorts of trouble.
Low strike from John Fitzgibbon. It's gone all the way into Mark Connolly, and Connolly's on the run. Chance here for Adair for their second goal. It's a well hook. Barry Nash has got well back to stop it, get the hook in. Eventually Mark Connolly got a flick to it towards goal, but it's hit the side net and gone out over the end line. A chance nonetheless though, Matt. Great work from Connolly there.
Yeah, they have only taken 1 goal chance, but by my count now that's 3 goal chances that have been created, whilst at the other end Liberties have yet to create what you could say is a goal scoring chance.
And Declan Hannon coming away with this one. Initially loses possession, shows great strength to win the ball back, and is fouled. The South Liberties sideline and fans not happy with that one, but either way it's a free to there, and it's taken quickly, and it's Ronan Connolly with the low ball in. It's good work there from Brendan Ahern from South Liberties. Mark Connolly trying to win it back, and it's Connolly that has possession. He's done brilliantly to win that back for Adair. He's got options inside. He's just gone long. Crossfield ball to John Fitzgibbon. Should be a scoreable chance here for John Fitzgibbon off his left hand side. No trouble whatsoever for John Fitzgibbon with that one. A fantastic score. Brilliant work from Mark Connolly. That's 110 to 6 points in favour of Adair.
Yeah, Mark Connolly has been very, very effective now. He hasn't got on the scoreboard, but he has been very effective in that particular instance, and particularly for Mikey Mackey's goal, in which he had a major part. He's winning his duel down there in the corner, and he picked out John Fitzgibbon very, very well there, and of course John Fitzgibbon in that type of situation will finish all day.
Sideline ball now for Adair over on that far side, going to be taken by James Gann. It's another low one from Gann, well blocked in midfield there from Shane O'Neill, and Shane O'Neill on the run now for South Liberties. He gives it in, looks for a pass. It's a pass into Shane Gary. Shane Gary in possession now. Sean Hogan trying to dispossess him of that. He's done well, Sean Hogan, to get a couple of flicks in there, but it's still South Liberties in possession. Mike Keane, it's a low one for Keane. Goal chance here. Gary with the shot. It's gone right through Joy Shire, and it's a goal for South Liberties. Shane Gary with the goal for Liberties. Great work from Mike Keane. Great work from Shane Gary initially. Sean Hogan did well to get a flick away, but the ball's worked into Gary, and he fired it straight through Joy Shire.
Yeah, it was powerful drive. Joy Shire really had no chance whatsoever. But full credit to South Liberties. They're battling back, and if there was a thing that the game needed at this point, it was a South Liberties goal, and they've got it now. That's a chance that's probably gone begging again, which would have closed the gap further. But coming up to half time, it's a major boost for South Liberties.
27 minutes played, and that Shane Gary goal has cut Adair's lead to 4 points, 110 to 1-6. In a sponsor Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship round 2 game between Adair and South Liberties. 4 point lead for Adair. It was Barry Nash with that wide Last shot from South Liberties inside his own 65 as Andrew O'Connell tries to win this one for Adair. Eventually falls to David O'Mahony. 2 points for O'Mahony so far. Gives this one low into Charlie McCarthy. Patrick Carroll and McCarthy battling for this one. Seems like McCarthy will win possession. That's exactly what he does. Comes all the way back outside. It's not a great ball. Looking for one of his teammates. Eventually going to fall to Jody Hannon here, wearing number 3, but out in the left wing back position. It's Andrew O'Connell with the shot. It's a good block in by Shane O'Neill for South Liberties. It does land in and around the square though, but enough pressure put on by Brendan Ahern on Mark Connolly to see that ball go wide. And Matt, you have to give credit to Liberties for getting back into this.
Yeah, credit and like they have reduced the margin to 4. It could have been closer. Like there are chances down here. There are 3 of them that have gone. That even had they converted 2 of them, it would be a very, very close and give them something to cling to going in at half time. But they have the goal now, which should be a major boost. But it looks as if since the goal that Adare seem to have weathered the storm. They have upped the tempo a bit again, and it's a line ball to Adare now. So it's still a bit of a road back for South Liberties.
Indeed, it is. Ronan Connolly down a few wild pulls there. Over on that far side, no free, according to referee John Holland. He's happy for play to go on. The ball eventually going out over the sideline, but it's Ronan Connolly down for Adair. It's going to be a sideline cut that John Fitzgibbon will take. Of course, the Adair captain for this season, wearing number 11. Ronan Connolly getting some treatment over on that far side for an injury. A few wild pulls going around there, Matt, just showing that the game maybe hitting a bit of fieriness, I think is the word. Well, it's not a word, but I'm going to use it anyway.
Getting a bit feisty, perhaps, and maybe the intensity increasing. Like I don't think there's anything malicious in it. It's just good, honest championship stuff.
Indeed it is. As John Fitzgibbon now set to take this one. 4 points, as we mentioned. It's a low one. 4-point lead for Adair. It's a low one from Fitzgibbon. He gets the ball back. Shooting opportunity for him. That's going to go tail to the left and wide though. And last few minutes Adair, couple of wides. So Liberties have a man down in the middle of the field. Matt, and just a quick mention on the weather. We're 20 degrees certainly anyway. It does take its toll on the players when they're not used to be playing, albeit training as well in these conditions.
It does, and there are individuals on the field this evening that we didn't see a trace of them 7 days ago, and they're the famous bottle boys, and they're running in and out, replenishing the water stocks and in players. You can see them all over the place, and the referee is quite conscious of the need for it, and once they're not interrupting with play, he's quite happy to let it on. But I counted 6 water boys on the field during that break in play.
Definitely well needed. There'll be need to restock at half time, as well as Michael Moynihan gets us back underway. Long puck out straight down the middle, bit to the right hand side. Jody Hannon's up on a pose. He had a chance maybe to catch it. The flick worked well. An excellent flick from John Fitzgibbon, and David O'Mahony plays one right into the pad of Mark Connolly, and Connolly turns, and this is danger. Has the advantage now as well, does Connolly. Goal chance for Connolly. Great save, Moynihan. Excellent save from Michael Moynihan on that occasion. And they're looking for the advantage to come back with the free. It's Willie Griffin who's found John Fitzgibbon. Chance for John Fitzgibbon. He's gone low with it. It's a great effort from Fitzgibbon. And it's straight down the middle, but an awkward ball from Moynihan, it has to be said, but from 35 to 40 yards out. Fantastic strike from Fitzgibbon.
Yeah, he just teed it up, and but of course the whole space was clear in front of him. It was almost a 1-on-1, but that is a crushing blow now for South Liberties. Certainly a blow when a bit of momentum was with him, and they were matching Adair. But we did note that since the South Liberties goal went in, that Adair had upped the tempo, and again, he has been involved, and he has yet to get on the scoreboard. But Mark Connolly was one of the instigators of it again.
Another chance, an effort from long range by John Fitzgibbon. He follows his goal up immediately with another long range point. Excellent work from John Fitzgibbon in this first half, which is coming to an end now. Just nearly 2 minutes of added time played, and it's Adair 2-11 to 1-6 ahead of South Liberties. Liberties had got back into the game, but it's half time now here in the Bon Secours Hospital. Limerick Senior Hurling Championship round 2 game between Adair and South Liberties, and Matt O'Callaghan. South Liberties were back in it, but quick fire 1-1 from John Fitzgibbon has maybe put this game away from them already.
Yeah, and we spoke last week about John Fitzgibbon leading from the front, and he certainly is doing so today. But we must acknowledge as well the work of Mark Connolly, like who's doing Trojan work there in the corner, and he has yet to get on the scoreboard. But the original save, I think, was from him. And like when the ball was worked back out, John Fitzgibbon, like he was definitely 35 if not 40 metres out, but there was literally nobody in front of him. It was a clear, practically straight shot at the goalkeeper, and he hit it to perfection. It just, I think that you as a goalkeeper should know now, it was a goalkeeper's nightmare. Did it hit the ground about a foot in front of him? No hope. No hope. But a massive boost for Adair going in at half time. Almost double scores, 2-11 to 1-6, whatever breeze is there. And it seems to have abated again somewhat. It'll be with Adair in the second half. You have a sense that Adair were quite happy to play playing within themselves until South Liberties got the goal, and when they got the goal, they decided right here we're back up the gears again. And like you will recall, Declan Hannon won a very, very hard ball there and brought it away, and it sort of set the tone. But like Adair, they're gone in, they're very happy, they're entitled to be.
So they're leading 2-11 to 1-6, 17 points to 9, up against South Liberties at the end of this first half. Join us for the second half shortly. Rough for the second half of this Limerick Senior Hurling, Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Second round game between South Liberties and Adare. It's Adair leading 2-11 to 1-6 at the end of that first half, but it's an early chance for Brian Ryan to get the first score of the second half. And Matt, it's taken short. We get to Matt O'Callaghan and it's straight to Barry Nash. Shooting chance for Nash. He'd won in the first half as well. Well worked free. Taken by South Liberties, and Matt, perfect start for Liberties, a badly needed score, 2-11 to 1-7.
Yeah, a badly needed score, especially after the concession of 1-1 late in injury time in the first half, and like it keeps the scoreboard ticking over, it keeps them in touch, but obviously they will need a bit more. Now that there has been a change on the Adair team at half time, in that Shane O'Connell has come on in place of Charlie McCarthy.
Indeed, yeah, Shane O'Connell for Liberties, for Adair's Mark Connolly takes this one for Adair, and the pressure from Barry Nash. Shooting chance for Ronan Connolly. It's a fine strike from Ronan Connolly, and it cancels out Barry Nash's early score for South Liberties. Excellently taken point there by the Adair right half back, and that's restores their 2-12 to 1-7 lead, 18 points to 10. Excellent work.
And again, the common denominator is Mark Connolly. Like his work rate and what he's contributing this evening has been quite extraordinary. It's a huge
bit of a scrum developing there, but it's flicked away, and Liberties maybe coming out with this one. Indeed they do, and it's Brian Ryan that has come out with it. Switches play looking for Gary over on that far side, but it's Adair to come away with it, and it's Declan Hannon with it. Shooting chance for Hannon, decides to give it in short, and looking for Willie Griffin. Shane O'Connor helping Willie Griffin out. He doesn't need much help, does Willie Griffin. That's an excellent strike from Griffin, but it is just tailed to the left and gone wide. First wide of the second half for Adair. Good work, mopping up work by Declan Hannon. Michael Moynihan will get us back underway again. It's a long one for Moynihan. There's a South Liberties player down. They're playing away here. It's one in the air by Ronan Connolly. And James Gann looking again, but John Hickey's done well for South Liberties. And Shane O'Neill trying to get possession for them. Neither side able to get it up into the hand just in the last few moments. Kicked away in the end by the Adair defender. And it's John Fitzgibbon now in possession for Adair. Goes long with it into the right hand corner. It's going to be Shane O'Connor and Owen Quilty chasing this one. Shane O'Connor now just unable to get possession into his hand. Owen Quilty's done well, and Owen Quilty's done brilliantly to win a free as well. Excellent defending there from the Liberties number 2.
Yeah. Excellent defending, because had Shane O'Connor got away that time, there was all sorts of danger, because his path to goal was almost clear.
Some man down, still injured there, back in the South Liberties defence. Can't quite see who it is. John O'Halloran is. Liberties were trying to take the free, but John O'Halloran has said we'll wait for the man to be patched up, and that's exactly what we'll do. It's going to be Owen Quilty to take the free himself. As the South Liberties man now back up, fit and healthy. It's going to be a free to be taken by Owen Quilty. It was Brendan Ahern that was the man down, receiving attention from the South Liberties physio. And it's Quilty that launches this one down. It's a fine strike by Quilty. Brian Ryan looking to win, and it's fallen to Barry Nash, maybe trying to fashion a shooting chances. Nash shows straight, tries to flick it back to Brian Ryan, but it's fallen out of his hand, and it's Adair pick it up with Mike Mackey, and it's David O'Mahony's ball in, looking for Griffin again. The ball is broken. Shane O'Connor just couldn't get it up at the vital time. Another chance for O'Connor, decides to give it into Connolly. Connolly, good defending from Brendan Ahern, getting back just in time. Pulls on the ball away from danger. In fact, it was David Gary that got back from his wing back position to do that, and Matt Another goal chance averted.
Yeah, there was all sorts of danger looming there, but it was a very, very timely interception by David Gary, because like had Mark Connolly controlled it, like he had the goal at his mercy.
It's going to be a sideline cut here for Adair. John Fitzgibbon's gone back. Another chance for Ronan Connolly. Has it enough bending? It looks to be from here, and indeed it has. Second point of the second half for Ronan Connolly, and that puts it there 2-13 to 1-7 up with nearly 5 minutes played of this second half. And Matt, at this stage, even early in the second half, we said it at the end of the first half, it's a long road back for South Liberties.
Yeah, and I suppose slowly and patiently Adare are building and incrementally on their lead, and the road is getting longer unless they get a response, and the response nearly at this stage has to come in the shape of a goal nearly.
Ball down in deep in Adair territory, but it's Ronan Connolly mapping up. Connolly now, fantastic start to the second half. Hannon with his short low into David O'Mahony, on to Ronan Connolly. Connolly's lost possession. That good work from a couple of the South Liberties attackers, and Mike Keane and Barry Nash to win that ball back, and it's Nash on the run. He would have liked to have been left go with Barry Nash there, you'd have to imagine, but John O'Halloran has brought it back for a free, and it's another chance for Brian Ryan to reduce the deficit.
Yeah, and I think he's moving it forward now. That I think there must be some protest or some verbals, so it's making it a bit easier for Brian Ryan. And I'm just beginning to wonder at this point in the game, 2-13 to 1-7. Would he have any to lose by having a pot?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, Matt. It's just that bit far out. Maybe one with topspin he might try, but either way, as Brian Ryan is certainly capable of causing problems from this distance if he gets a good strike on it. We'll have to wait and see what he's going to do, though. Mark Keane signalling that South Liberties are going to have to make a substitution. I think it's Brendan Ahern that's going to be coming off. He was the man getting attention moments ago. Brian Ryan looks to be lining this one up. He's gone low and it's gone straight into the back of the net. That's the goal South Liberties were craving. That's the goal they've got. Matt O'Callaghan, you question, would he go for it? And my God, did he go for it? Did it come off?
Yeah, because I thought the opportunity was looming there, and like if he missed it at this stage, so what? But like it was well worth a chance, I think.
Couple of substitutions after that goal. So Liberties have brought Brian Nash on for the injured Brendan Ahern, and Owen Ryan has come on to the Adair team for James Gann, but it's at Liberties now with a quick step on him. It's Gary with the ball in. David Gary looking over to that far side, looking for Shane Gary. It's Shane Gary now struggling to get the ball up into his hand. He eventually does. It's a low ball, it's a good one. Looking for David Gary once more, and Gary on the run. Chased down by Declan Hannon. Good shoulder from Hannon though. Gary gets the shot away, straight across the goals. But South Liberties should maintain possession, and indeed they do with Brian Gary. Gary flashes that one at goal, but it's gone to the right and wide. He already got one in the first half, Matt, from an acute angle. He tried the same trick on this occasion, unable to do so, but there's no question Liberties have been buoyed by that goal.
Yeah, they certainly have, and the trick now is to drive on. Now that they have got the goal, they can start paring back the lead, provided they can contain Adair at this end. It'll be interesting to see, will we get a similar response from Adair to what we got to the first South Liberties goal, and the answer to that is yes.
Mike Mackey with the point after Conor McSweeney and Barry Nash went up for the same ball. Mackey waited for the break, he saw what was coming, then had the absolute nonchalant score from McCarthy, from Mike Mackey on that occasion. That's Adair, 7 points in front again as South Liberties look to attack. It's O'Neill with the low ball looking for Mike Keane, but it's Hannon that wins, and Hannon launches one in and around the square for Adair. It's a high one, it's won by the Liberties man. It's Patrick Carroll back there. Quilty coming out with the ball now for South Liberties, unable to get possession into his hand. That first attempt eventually comes out. That's excellent from Owen Quilty, but well hooked by Jody Hannon, and it's David O'Mahony now. He's got Andrew O'Connell free on this near side. Great chance for Andrew O'Connell for his first point of the game. It's a good strike from O'Connell, and it's over the bar from the Adair number 14, 2-15 to 2-7, Matt, and 2 quick fire points for Adair.
Yeah, we're getting a similar response to what we got to the first goal, and what must be really worrying for South Liberties, just like the John Fitzgibbon goal, who had acres of space, Andy O'Connell had all the time in the world there to pick his spot and slot it over the bar. There was, from the time the ball reached him, there wasn't a doubt but what the end result was going to be.
Absolutely no question of that. It's going to be South Liberty's ball over on that far side. Conor McSweeney to take. Sideline cut for McSweeney. We've just coming up to 10 minutes played of the Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship Round 2 clash as McSweeney plays that one low to David O'Neill. It's O'Neill with the shooting chance. It's a good strike from O'Neill, but it's just gone to the right and wide as Adair set to make another substitution. In comes Lucas O'Brien for them, and it's Andy O'Connell just scored that point for Adair moments ago. He's the man to make way for Lucas O'Brien as Joey Shire looks to get us back underway here with this puck out. It's coming straight over to Lucas O'Brien from Joey Shire's puck out. It's O'Brien unable to win that. It's a good defending from John Hickey. Got the flick to, and the ball is played down for Gary. It's a great effort from Brian Gary. His last shot tailed to the left and wide, but this one's gone straight over the middle. Stress, fantastic score, well worth one from Liberties.
Yeah, a well worth score, but absolutely, it was a simple score. He broke the ball down to himself, made the space, and put it over the bar. Like, hurling is a simple game, made complicated by I suppose some complicated coaches, but certainly that was an excellent point.
And there's another one there from Mike Mackey from Adair. Second up for Mackey in the second half. Excellent score, Matty. We're just in the middle of explaining how good a score that was for Liberties, and that was just as good as one from Mike Mackey.
It was, and Mike Mackey, who was, I suppose, by Mike Mackey's standards, was quite the last day in Kilmallock. He has certainly upped the tempo on this occasion. I have him for 1-2 at the moment.
Barry Nash on the run here for South Liberties. Nash with a goal chance. He struck it. It's well blocked in the end. It's going to be a free though. Referee John O'Halloran playing advantage. Chance for South Liberties. Maybe Brian Ryan will go for goal again from here. We'll have to wait and see. He's already got one from place ball, but it's going to be a free, and Nash is down injured himself. Maybe taking a belt. The helmet's come off as well there, but Matt, there's no greater sight in hurling at times than seeing a man of Barry Nash's pace and power on the run like that.
Yeah, and it was good defending by Adare. I suspect that Brian Ryan may have the temptation. It's 2-16 to 2-8. There are 8 points in it. It's quite a bit of a road back, and it needs a goal to put an impact into it. What is there left? There's, I suppose, 18 minutes left, and I think he will be tempted to have a go. There were certainly no verbals this time. A shut mouth catches no flies, and certainly a shut mouth doesn't concede any yards. So they learned their lesson from the first one when it was moved forward, and Brian Ryan buried it in the net. So I think he'll be satisfied with his point in this one.
You have to imagine it's just that bit far out with the angle. The last one was a bit straighter. He's lining up, but again, it'll be interesting to see what Brian Ryan does. He's gone for it again. This time Joey Shire's out in front of it and gets a good block away, and it's Jody Hannon looking to win this for Adair. It's Owen Ryan now has won the free, and Matt, he went for it, but Joey Shire was able to get out in front of it.
He was able to get out in front of it, and he certainly didn't get the level of purchase on it that he got on the first one. It wasn't the typical powerful Brian Ryan shot that we've come to be used to, and Joey Shire made a very good save of it, and made sure it went out to the left, out of the danger area, and Adair, in the process of clearing it, have won a free.
Another substitution for Adair. It's John McSweeney that's come onto the field wearing number 20. That's Frank Costello, their number 7, who's departed the action. Long puck out again from Joey Shire. It's Mike Mackey in possession again. Looks for the hand pass back to David O'Mahony. It's O'Mahony on the run, held up by Barry Nash on that occasion. That's going to be a free, and another chance for Willie Griffin to add to his substantial total. Matt, every time South Liberties do come down, though, it has to be said, you mentioned it in the first half, you mentioned it after the first goal, South Liberties goals, and the second goal. Each time Adair have an answer. Yeah,
they seem to be able to find the response. Now, this isn't an easy free for most free takers, but it's Willie Griffin. So I certainly, for one, wouldn't be betting against him. And at the same time, not putting the commentator's curse on him.
The habit of putting the commentator's curse on free takers, Matt.
Yeah, well, I'm probably a bit of a record in that, but I fancy him to put this one over.
It's all on the line now from Matt O'Callaghan as Willie Griffin takes this one, and to be fair to Matt, he had that one bang on. Relatively straightforward free for a free taker of Willie Griffin's capabilities, and that puts it up to 2-17 to 2-8 lead for Adair, with just nearly coming up to 15 minutes played in the second half. It's Conor McSweeney now gaining the loose possession for South Liberties. Good run from McSweeney. Under pressure there though from his namesake John McSweeney and Owen Ryan, but Conor McSweeney does brilliantly to hold on, and he has David O'Neill now. David O'Neill with the shooting chances. A fine strike from David O'Neill, and it's an excellent score from the South Liberties number 8. Brilliant work from Conor McSweeney, Matt O'Callaghan, and an equally as good finish from David O'Neill.
Yeah, and of course David O'Neill is a very, very experienced player, and he showed it all there. And again, good work by Conor McSweeney, who's playing quite well for South Liberties. Here we have Willie Griffin about to apply a response.
It's Griffin on the run. Owen Quilty with the possession, or with the foul I should say. Griffin popped it over anyway. It's going to be brought back for the free, and it's going to be a talking to for Owen Quilty, you would imagine. Another relatively straightforward free from Willie Griffin, you would imagine. But it's Adair leading 2-17 to 2-9, with just coming up to 16 minutes played of this second half of the Bon Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Of course, there's a double header here in Bruff this afternoon. This Adare South Liberties game first up, but at 6 p.m. we have the vital clash as well, of course, of Doon and Kilmallock. We'll talk about that later, but it's Willie Griffin looking to extend Adair's lead. As I said, 8-point lead at the moment for Adair, looking to make it 9 points. And as Matt O'Callaghan's mentioned, a player of Willie Griffin's standing isn't likely to miss that one. Hopefully it's not the dreaded commentator's curse out of me on this occasion.
No, it just taps it over. It was a simple free for Willie Griffin.
He relatively straightforward on, as we mentioned. 2-18 to 2-9 now to Adair, as Michael Moynihan launches this one down over on that far side. It's won by John McSweeney. Good work from McSweeney. It's Mike Mackey now. Plays this one long. It's Griffin again as the target. It's Griffin that has it in his hand. He's beaten Quilty. This time goal scoring chance for Griffin. He hits it low and he hits it into the back of the net. Excellent finish from Willie Griffin, and Matt, that goal has been coming.
That goal has been coming, but John, the finish is only one part of it. The ball that he got, but he caught it, and the ball was actually going away from him when he caught it. Rounded his man, had a straight shot at the goalkeeper, gave him no chance. Excellent goal.
3-18 to 2-9 lead for Adair now. As Barry Nash on the run, he finds John Hickey. So Liberties need goals. Hickey goes low. It's well blocked there by David Connolly, and Connolly now going across his goals. Maybe not advised to do that. He's got rid of it eventually, and it's John McSweeney that has it. McSweeney goes short to Jody Hannon. He's got Ronan Connolly on the short ball as well, and it's Ronan Connolly to launch this one away. I say launch, but it's a good ball in for Shane O'Connor. Good catch from O'Connor. O'Connor has the pace to take on his man, and Patrick Carroll. O'Connor with this shot. Unfortunately for Adair on this occasion, it's gone to the right hand wide as they introduce Pat Rosum onto the field. Just going to be Sean Hogan. I think that's the man that's coming off. Yep, it's Sean Hogan, confirmed by the Adare sideline. But Matt O'Callaghan, you just saw that, brilliantly worked out of defence. John Hickey went for the goal, a badly needed goal for Liberties. Ronan Connolly got the block in eventually, David Connolly got the block in, worked it to Jody Hannon, who worked it again outside. Ronan Connolly delivers, great catch from Shane O'Connor. Adair have really, when they've played well today, they've been unstoppable.
They have, and we flagged it from very early on, as early as 10 minutes, that the way they have mixed the long and the short game today has been excellent. But certainly, it's very hard to see a road back for South Liberties. Very impressive score that they have chalked up.
Ball down deep in South Liberties 30. It's gone out over the end line. John Fitzgibbon looking for a low pass to Shane O'Connor. Mark Connolly was also trying to get out to that, but it's gone out over the sideline, and it's going to be a sideline cut for South Liberties. It's going to be Brian Nash that takes this one. Has it gone out over the sideline again? Just waiting for a signal from Johnny Murphy. It's going to be a throwing ball, I think, from what we can see from our angle. Cameraman is in the way from our vantage point here. But it's going to be a throwing ball, and it's gone out over the sideline again, is it? It hasn't. It's in play, and it's John Fitzgibbon with possession for Adair. It's worked well back by South Liberties though, and well cleared. Ronan Connolly keeps that one in play, but it's Mike Keane that has it. Mike Keane on the charge now for South Liberties. He's blocked and fouled indeed. And it's going to be a free for South Liberties, as a bit of wood comes loose from our commentary area here in Bruff. Matt O'Callaghan, do you still have all your toes, Matt?
I do.
We're okay, so we're okay for the moment. It's going to be Brian Ryan back to the real action. Brian Ryan to take this free for South Liberties. It's one, Matt, you'll imagine he'll pop over, difficult angle, he's not going to go for goal from here. And judging by the lack of South Liberties players in and around the square, he's not going to drop it in either.
No, there's no point in dropping it in there, because it's certainly not populated by South Liberties players in there. I think that there's an acceptance that he's going to put it over the bar.
It's Brian Ryan with the strike, and that one has tailed to the right. It was a poor one from Brian Ryan. On that occasion, it's 3:18 to 2:10 in favour of Adare. It stays. The ball quickly taken there by Joey Shire. It's won by Lucas O'Brien over on that far side, but he seems to have stepped out over the sideline. And it's going to be an Adare line ball. Just coming up to 21 minutes played, Matt. We're gonna highlight this at the end of the game as well, but we've already mentioned it a couple of occasions now. It's a big win for Adare. They struggled at times last week against Kilmallock, but this has been much better, and a much better performance all round.
Yeah, a much better performance all round. They haven't won yet, but it would take a brave man to bet against them at this point. But Adair haven't won a game in the group stages of the championship since 2017. By Adair standards, they had a very poor year in 2018. They just got 2 draws. They got a draw here with Adair, with Doon, and they got a draw inside in Clahan one evening with Ballybrown. But that was the sum total of their endeavours for last year. But last week here, even though they lost to Kilmarnock, I thought there was something about Adair that they had moved on, that they had put that sluggishness and that they showed. Joey Shire had to be smart there now to get to block that one, but that sluggish and shapelessness that was about him last year, they seem to have put it behind them, and I think while South Liberties, it may not be of the same calibre as Kilmallock, I think Adare have shown measurable improvement here again this evening. Now the conditions are much better this evening. But they spectacularly failed to qualify for the knockout stages last year. But I certainly wouldn't write Adair off out of the knockout stages this year.
Absolutely not, judging on this performance. Anyway, they're very, very impressive as they look to be heading to victory, leading 3:18 to 2:10 in their second round clash of the Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship with South Liberties. It's Rosam has it there back for Adare. Ball played right across, a lovely pass into the middle. And away go Adare again. It's Jody Hannon finding Lucas O'Brien. This would be a fantastic score if Lucas O'Brien can finish it. He had more time than he realised, I think, there. And had a go off balance, but it's gone to the left and wide. That's the sign of it.
Lucas O'Brien, by his reaction, certainly didn't need the umpire to tell him that he'd missed the target.
Oh, he certainly did not, as South Liberties take this one short. It's Gary with the delivery. It's David Gary looking down for Shane. And Shane Gary in possession. Up against Pat Rosam. It's Gary tries to play this one across, and out comes Declan Hannon. Hannon straight down to Lucas O'Brien. He'll want to do better with this one. Decides to deliver it to Willie Griffin. Excellent touch from Griffin on that occasion. Shooting chance for Willie Griffin now. Just does enough to stave off the referee's call on the steps, and an excellent pass to John Fitzgibbon, and an excellent score from John Fitzgibbon.
An excellent score from John Fitzgibbon, but the work that Willie Griffin put into it, the manner in which he trapped the ball down, controlled it, held it up, waited for John Fitzgibbon to come, laid it off. Fine execution by John Fitzgibbon.
And a fine catch from that puck out by Barry Nash. The shot though, it doesn't match the initial play from the South Liberties number 11, and it's Adare still leading now, into that lead. From John Fitzgibbon's point, 3:19 to 2:10 is a puck out over to Mark Connolly. A huge puck out by Joey Shire, and Connolly, he deserves a score, certainly does, for all his efforts this evening. But again tries to give it in low. It's well blocked on that occasion by Brian Nash, and Nash comes away, but his ball's gone out over the sideline though, and it's going to be an Adare sideline cut. Just coming up now to 25 minutes played, 5 minutes of regular time remaining here. Seems to be Adare, looking all the likelihood in this stage anyway, Matt, that Adare heading for their first victory of the 2019 championship. It's going to be John Fitzgibbon to take this sideline ball over on that far side here in Bruff. Not too many in the stand, Matt, a stark comparison to last week where it was full for the Doon the Kilmallock and Adare one, as Fitzgibbon launches this one in around the square. Griffin's there, he has it in his paw again. Griffin again! Fantastic goal from Willie Griffin. Stunning play from the Adare number 15. He's given an exhibition from play, from freeze, and an all-round stunning performance.
Again, execution perfect, but the catch, absolute catch. And certainly he wasn't in a position to score when he got it, but he made the space and buried it in the net. He's having absolutely a massive game here. But a great ball from John Fitzgibbon.
Superb sideline cut from John Fitzgibbon as Brian Ryan has this one. It's a good score from Brian Ryan. Gets out Liberties. Scoreboard ticking over for them once again. But Matt, just quickly on Willie Griffin. Year in, year out, he's one of the star performers in the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. He's had a taste of Limerick action a few years ago now, it has to be said. John Kiley has an open panel. Is there a chance for Willie Griffin to be called up by Limerick?
His consistency for so long has been absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. We see it year in, year out. It's Willie Griffin, and there's a superb point for Adair from Owen Ryan. He'd be delighted to get his name on the score sheet. But Willie Griffin, I suppose the fact that Willie Griffin isn't part of the Limerick panel is testimony to the strength of the Limerick panel.
Yeah, absolutely. There has to be some amount of quality forwards in Limerick if Willie Griffin isn't in the reckoning, but that's a decision for John Kiley and his management team, not us here in the commentary box in Bruff. It's Adare leading 420 to 211. From David Connolly there, and it's Willie Griffin on the charge again. Owen Quilty having a torrid time marking him this evening here in Bruff. And it's going to be another sideline ball for Adare and another chance for John Fitzgibbon to add to his score. 1-5 he's got from my tally here, Matt. You might be able to tell me something different. But from my tally anyway, John Fitzgibbon has a very impressive tally of 1-5. Just a 1 point in the second half, but he set up that goal just moments ago for Willie Griffin as well with the sideline ball. It's another chance now for the Adare captain and number 11 to pop this one over. He's certainly well capable of doing so. It's a fine effort from John Fitzgibbon, and it's done exactly that. Excellent return from John Fitzgibbon today, Matt, and it just highlights his quality, number one, and Adair's quality overall.
Yeah, and you just have to say at this stage that it's the second time in a week that South Liberties have conceded 420 or more, which, even at this early stage, they're going into the break now with no points, with a very, very big deficit in scoring deficit. They will have to find something special if they are to stay in the top group, because you must remember that Patrick Swell, Kilmallock, Doon are still down the road. They have to face, but they will have to go away, regroup, and they have the best part of 4 months to do so, and come back and see what they can do about it. But it is a long road back. Adare will leave here this evening quite confident they can go away and enjoy the rest of the weekend, and certainly Brian Foley will have plenty food for thought over the 2 games that he has seen, and he'll have plenty. I have no doubt he'll have a long list to work on, but certainly he will be working from the security of having 2 points, 2 precious points in the bag, and a first win for Adare since 2017 in the group stages.
It's David O'Neill, a yellow card picked up there in that last attack for South Liberties. He was protesting his shot that was waved wide, as we have a bit of a flashpoint over on that far side. Frustrations getting the better of a couple of players over on that far side, but much ado about nothing, we think, at this stage, Matt. And we'll worry more about that in a moment or so, but they're looking to looking to extend their lead, and it's going to be a free out for South Liberties. The end decision from referee John O'Halloran. Just a word on John O'Halloran as well, Matt. A promising young referee coming through the ranks here in Limerick. Had a fine game.
Yeah, has had a fine game. We haven't had occasion, and we have 60 minutes played. We haven't had occasion to mention him once, which is a good sign of a referee. He has let it to the players. His refereeing has been sensible, and he has made it quite clear, I think, that he's standing for no nonsense. They know where they stand with him, and a very, very good performance by the referee.
A very good point there from South Liberties number 12, Owen Godfrey. Puts the score 4-21 to 2-12. We're in injury time here in Brough now for this game as Jody Hannon plays this one to the far side. It's David O'Mahony looking for his third point. It's not the best of strikes, but could fall to Willie Griffin. Griffin now lets that ball go past him. Adare looking for a free, but the free's gone to Patrick Carroll and South Liberties. We've nearly a minute played of added time here. It's definitely going to be a win for Adair. 4-21 to 2-12 they lead. Dying embers of this Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship Round 2 clash. And it's David O'Mahony looking to win this back, but it's Shane O'Connor again for Adair. Kicks the ball out to Ronan Connolly. Connolly scored 2 in the second half already. They were both with his right hand side. It's no bother to him on his left hand side as well. Excellent finish by Ronan Connolly. 4-22 to 2-12. And Matt, that just should tidy us up for a fine finish.
Yeah, I think John O'Halloran is about to blow it any minute now, and I suppose at this stage the sooner the better from the South Liberties point of view, because they're behind by 16 points, and it's a very, very good win and an awful lot of pleasing aspects for Adare, but still quite a bit to work on if Adare are to recapture the glory days of old when they were winning 3 in a row back 10 years ago, and when they were making regular appearances in the concluding stages of the championship. But the trajectory in Adare, we saw it last week and we see it again today, is very, very, very much upwards.
South Liberties now looking for a late salvo. It's David Gary on the run here. It's been a fine run from David Gary. It's flicked away from him in the end. Still there though. It's off the post and over the bar from Barry Nash. It was a flaking shot from Barry Nash. Joey Shire certainly wasn't going to get a stop on that one if it had been on target in the goals. Either way, it's a point for South Liberties and Barry Nash. 4-22 to 2-13 in Adair's lead. We've played nearly 3 minutes of added time now. South Liberties man down on the ground injured, and Matt, we've mentioned Adare and what's ahead for them, maybe on an upward curve in the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. We've also touched on South Liberties. It's 2 heavy losses, as you mentioned, to Napiershik last week and again today. They're up from Group 2 this season. We saw it in the quarterfinals certainly last year, the huge disparity between Group A and Group B.
Yeah, I was just saying it off air there at half time that it looks the new system, we said at the very start of the new system, that there was going to be a twofold test of it. First of all, would you get more even and competitive games? The answer to that was a very definite yes, and the second test last year was it going to close the gap between the teams in Group 2 and Group 1? The answer in the quarterfinals was very definitely no. The performance of South Liberties so far in bridging the gap in the competition, having been promoted last year, is again a very definite no.
Well, that's all she wrote. That's the end of it. Full-time whistle blown by John O'Halloran here in Brough. It's Adare with a 4-22 to 2-13. Comfortable victory for Brian Foley's side. We'll have the second game here this evening, the second game of the double-header between Doon and Kilmallock, just before 6 p.m. Join us then for more action live on Limerick GA TV.